Trump's government shutdown is unraveling, and Republicans are scrambling to contain the damage. Instead of negotiations, we're seeing excuses, finger-pointing, and chaos. But the American people aren't buying it. Right away, let's look at how one GOP senator tried to explain it on national TV.
I think everybody realizes this is a Schumer shutdown, that this is a politically driven shutdown, driven by AOC and the squad and the liberal Marxist portion of the Democrat Party. I think that's truly what's going on here. That's because, and then none of their arguments make sense why they're trying to shut it down. It just doesn't make any sense to anybody. So I would just discount that poll altogether, and that's not what I'm hearing from back home.
Why do you discount that?
Well, I just think there's so much other polls that say just the opposite. I think that
Which one?
The arguments out there, I don't have them at my fingertips right now. I can tell you that's a very biased poll. I'm absolutely convinced that this is a political
Why is it biased?
shutdown.
Can you explain?
I don't even know who was it from? I don't even know.
The Washington Post. I mean, if it's biased, you should know which one it is. It's the Washington Post poll.
That is the GOP defense? Calling polls biased without even knowing where they came from? It's not just weak, it's insulting to voters. Meanwhile, Republicans know they're losing ground on healthcare, the very issue at the center of these budget fights. Listen to this.
Oh, sorry. The Kaiser Family Foundation poll also says that 59% of Republicans and 57% of MAGA supporters are included in that support. But does that make any difference to Republicans? What do you think?
Well, what I think is going to happen that at some point these premium subsidies under the Affordable Care Act will be extended simply because there are enough Republicans in the Congress who will want to extend them. They are facing pressure on the health care issue, Republicans, particularly after the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill that made various changes and cuts to Medicaid. And so Republicans know they're vulnerable on the health care issue.
So even Republican voices admit the truth. Voters, including MAGA voters, support Affordable Care Act subsidies. And yet, the GOP leadership continues to block solutions. Then the Senate dropped another bombshell.
Afternoon, the Senate once again failed to pass a funding bill, and that means the shutdown continues through at least Monday. And we just learned that Speaker Mike Johnson is not going to call the House back to Washington next week, so that's going to put more pressure on the Senate. As soon as today, we expect the White House to announce thousands of permanent layoffs of federal workers. Sources telling CNN that the administration already has a list of where those cuts will be made. All right, fair enough. And Arlette, we just learned that the House is not going to come back to Washington this week. Help us understand what that means.
Well, Casey, this is a pretty stunning reversal from House Speaker Mike Johnson, who had insisted that the House would return next week. But just moments ago, they announced that they're actually telling lawmakers to stay back in their home districts. What Republican leadership in the House is hoping is that this will force Senate Democrats to get on board with the only plan that's out there, or one of the only plans that's out there right now, and that's that Republican-backed 7-week stopgap funding bill. But right now, there still does not appear to be any movement from either side on this issue. The Senate again voted today on that GOP plan, on a Democratic plan, and both of those votes failed, meaning that this shutdown is going to extend until Monday. Senators are now heading back home to their home states for the weekend, and it really does not appear that there is any type of negotiation or traction towards trying to reach a real resolution on this matter. Now, there are informal talks happening behind the scenes between a bipartisan group of senators. They're talking about those Obamacare subsidies that are set to expire at the end of the year that are really central to Democrats' demands. But everyone involved in those talks says that they're just informal. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said that he's encouraged Democrats to have those conversations, but that nothing official has been put on the table. A bit earlier today, the Republican leader, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, said that they can't make any commitments when it relates to those Obamacare subsidies because they don't have a guarantee that they will have enough votes to have it pass. That's a reference not just to the Senate, but also to the House, which may not be willing to accept any changes that would head their way. So there's still a lot of big questions about how exactly this government shutdown could get involved, as really you have Republicans and Democrats digging in on their positions, really waiting for the other side to blink first.
So instead of resolving the crisis, Republicans are sending lawmakers home and preparing mass layoffs. That's not leadership. That's surrender. Here's the bottom line. The GOP is boxed in. Polls show Americans overwhelmingly blame them. Republicans are split, Democrats are holding firm, and Trump's shutdown gamble is collapsing. The question now, how much longer will Republican leaders ignore their own voters just to protect Trump's pride? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment below. Do you think Republicans will finally be forced to end this shutdown, or will Trump drag them down even further?